Ladies and gentlemen, a lot has been happening recently. This woman you see here is by name Ejiro, lives in Abuja. By far one of their best fashion designers in Abuja. Right now she's missing. And the way or the method by which she got missing will shock you. Imagine somebody that was lured by a certain prayer group on social media, and that was the end of her. Nobody knows where she is. Phone number gone. The people she is with right now, in fact, they've deactivated their accounts and everything. These people had a group that is known on this social media. People have to be careful the way you put join people, all in the name of searching for solutions. Be careful the way you believe all these people that call themselves women of God, man of God, not all of them. But be very, very careful. At this point, I will even say, know God for yourself. This woman you see lost everything to these people. And right now, nobody even knows if she's alive or even gone. Nobody knows. At the time she met these people, they told her to, in fact, they told her to stop communicating with her family members, that those people don't want her good and all of that. Before you know anything, she started detaching from family. The next thing, she decided to close up her business and told her family members that, oh, she wants to be a pastor. You guys just listen attentively. Her sister is going to talk about it. Listen. And please help them find Ejiro. This is a lot. These people have done this thing to so many people. And why I'm bringing this thing here is I don't want you to fall a victim of this kind of people. Listen to what happened. Listen to what really happened to Ejiro. A promising young woman out there that is doing well. In fact, she's in the league of like Vicky James, doing well in the fashion industry. Styled by Ejiro used to be her handle. Right now, cancelled, nothing. This is crazy. The world is, in fact, a lot is happening out there. Mind the way you follow people because of miracle, because of prayers. Listen to what happened.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Monique, and today I'm not talking about wedding dress. I want to talk about my sister Ejiro. Most of you must have seen the post. My elder sister Ejiro is missing, and I have to also speak out so that I can create awareness and also lend my voice so we can bring her back home. Now, Ejiro is the second child in my family. I'm the fourth. Ejiro and we share a very interesting relationship. We fight a lot, but then we love each other so much. Now, my family, we were raised with love, we were raised with support. We do not leave anyone behind. So how this happened, it's something we are still trying to figure out. But then, I understand why it could happen to her, because Ejiro is a reserved person. So these people who claim to be spiritual people, but I call them scammers, swindlers, because all they did was to isolate my sister. They made her close her business. So on Instagram, they found Ejiro, or Ejiro found them on Instagram. I don't even know who found who, but I know that the lady that is behind all of this, her name is Joy Solomon, but she's also Joy, she formerly known as Joy Rokwe, and she is the founder of either Abba Speaks or the Balt Academy. So Ejiro actually one day saw one post where the so-called Joy Solomon prophesied that she's I think she normally posts prophecy up there. She just puts, and that day it was Ejiro, you're going to be a prophet, you're going to sell everything, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And Ejiro just felt that prophecy was for her. And when so there was this lady, one Tolu lady, who sent it to her or posted it on her status or something. Ejiro saw it, and then curiosity, she wanted to know more about it, and that's how she got hooked. Before I continue, I'm going to encourage everybody, especially women, and why am I doing this on my page? Because this is my business page, is to create awareness, like I said, because women, vulnerable women are their targets. You need to know God for yourself. Earlier this year, I made a video, if you guys can go back or remember, I said before I say anything, I would encourage everybody to know God for yourself, because when you know God and you know who you are in God, you're not going to fall victim to this kind of scammers and people claiming to be God sent. Now, as this relationship with Ejiro and this group, this, I would call them a cult, progressed, she was instructed to sell everything. She was instructed, as she said, God told her to close her business. We tried to convince her that she shouldn't close her business, but she was adamant. She refused to listen, because then they started hypnotizing her, and then she would not listen. She just felt they were hearing from God. Now, I'm going to mention this so you all should know. If you're a Christian, you need to be spiritually sound, because nobody needs to go to God on your behalf anymore. That was what Jesus Christ came to do. And thank God we just celebrated Easter. What Jesus did for us was to make us joint heirs to the kingdom. When Jesus met Mary, when Mary said at the tomb, Mary said, please, she didn't know it was Jesus, and she said, please, where have you taken my Lord's body? Until Jesus called her name, and then she said Rabboni, which is teacher. And then she knew that was Jesus, but she was going to touch Jesus, and Jesus Christ said, no, don't touch me. I haven't gone to the Father. Until I go to the Father, or I will go to the Father. And when I go to God, God becomes your God. And then that was the first time Jesus Christ actually said, tell my brothers, which were his disciples. It was the first time he called his disciples his brothers. And that's where we became joint heirs. So you don't need anybody to go to God for you. You have access to God. You have direct connection to God. God alone is enough for you. You don't have to look for what is not missing. I need to say that because I know a lot of women are following me on my page. You need to understand that Jesus already paid the price for you. It is Jesus minus nothing and Jesus plus nothing. Now, I'm going to go back to Ejiro. So when they told her, Ejiro had a page called Stylebyejiro. She was doing so well. Our clientele, our top Nigerians. She was sewing for governors' wives, senators' wives, senators' children, top Christian, top pastors' wives. If you see Ejiro, she's so loving. She's so amazing, a giver. She would see you and just take off her gold jewelry and give to you. She can give you her designer bags. That was how amazing my sister is. And then they knew that they could pray on her. She was dealing with midlife crisis. There's nobody has not dealt with midlife crisis, and they took advantage of it. And then when it started, I kept sending her messages. I would put it out there. I'll say, Ejiro, you are loved. Jesus loves you. This is not God does not work in isolation. There are a lot of praying. For example, I'm going to use Pastor Nathaniel. Pastor Nathaniel, everybody knows he's the convener for Hallelujah Challenge. Madam NHN, thank you so much for posting this, because you posting it has brought awareness. Now, everybody knows Madam NHN also has a platform. Any platform that works in secrecy, any platform that will tell you isolate, you need to check it well. In fact, I would advise you, know God for yourself. So they told Ejiro to isolate. They told her, my mother, my praying mother, Ejiro's widowed mother, is the one after her life. They will tell you that there's somebody in your family, because they want to isolate you. They need to keep you from everything you know. And Ejiro believed. My praying mother, who has been praying for us from birth, all of a sudden is a witch. My mom had 3 multiple surgeries done last year. She had 3 surgeries done. Ejiro didn't show up because of what she was instructed to. We kept trying to reach out to her. We couldn't get to Ejiro. While we could still reach out to her, I would send her messages, Ejiro, Jesus loves you. This is not the plan. And all of a sudden, she sold everything in her business. And then Ejiro used to live in an amazing apartment in Abuja. Like when I go there, it feels like I was living in heaven. A small heaven, I would call it. They told Ejiro to leave her house. You know, they use this kind of scriptures in the Bible. Like God told Abraham to sacrifice his own son. So then they will bring it and say, God can tell Abraham, who are you? And then they told her, God said, leave everything, take only one bag. And then they put if a couple that is also in that same Nabout group to go stay in Ejiro's house. One Minister Taye was the one they now put in Ejiro's house, and the guy stayed there for 1 year. Then Ejiro started living in hotels. Then she would not pick calls. Ejiro would not pick calls, but she would reply when she can. You would know that it's not convenient or there's something she's hiding from. But you know me, I have coconut head. I will keep reaching out to Ejiro because I'm troubled. I can't find my fighting partner anymore. I can't find my sister that loves me. My fashionable sister that when she sees me, when I go visit Ejiro, you will know that I met with a fashionista that will style me so well. Ejiro was so good that she could attract. Stylebyejiro was, in fact, let me tell you people something. Ejiro is a perfectionist. Ejiro is the one that made me know that sewing in Nigeria can be very tacky and annoying. When I see her finishing, she will tell me, Ejiro doesn't, to tell you how good she was, she doesn't like seeing stitches. She doesn't like seeing stitches in her work. So when Taylor sew, she would tell you, you need to go sew it again. She was so good. My sister was so good. So good that God bless her. But these people, they look for single women, single ladies, vulnerable. In fact, they even go for married women. I hear by some of their members that some women have to leave their marriages. That's why I said, know God for yourself. When they bring those kind of nonsense to you, if your spiritual antenna is on point, you will know the response to give them. And so, when I got tired of all this, of trying to reach out, why we didn't really, start fighting this group was because we could still reach Ejiro. And all of a sudden, I had sent Ejiro some pictures this year, beginning of this year. The last time I chatted with her was, I said Merry Christmas, and then she responded last year. Not knowing, we didn't know where she went throughout last year. I tried to track her down. I would let her know, Ejiro, you're here, Ejiro, you're there. And then she would warn me, stop looking for me. I'll tell her, Ejiro, what about your mother? Is this how it's gonna be? I didn't give up. She would fight me. Of course, I know she's not in her right frame of mind, but I wouldn't give up. And when I couldn't reach Ejiro again, then I flagged it. I said something is not right. Ejiro's number for 4 days has not gone through. And that was when I involved the police. And that was when this whole madness with their group started. And then we started, now, let me tell you something. I know women I'm going to say this now, women that are successful or that shows to be successful on social media, because I don't know if they're successful or not. I'm only going to speak for myself. I noticed that these people also advertised this group. And so I started reaching out to them. The first person I reached out to was Newborn Beauty. What's her name? Stella Indikile. I reached out to Stella Indikile. I called, I said I wanted to speak to Stella Indikile. Whoever picked up the phone from Newborn Beauty said I should tell them what to do. I said I want to speak to her personally. They have to do with a missing persons case. They said, okay, I have to give the information before they can tell her. They immediately I mentioned my sister. That has to do with Nabout. Immediately I mentioned my sister. They told me they will get back to me. I waited for the call, and then they said, we're sorry, she's not going to talk to you. Or you can't reach her. I tried calling, I tried acting as if I wanted to book an appointment so that I could speak with her. Immediately they just hear my voice, they will just cut the call. So Stella Indikile, I've tried to reach you to ask you where's my sister. You have not responded. And by the time they hit, and then the next person I reached out to was Joyce Awoshika, Joyce or something like that, or Poriki Spa. She's also involved. She also marketed the group. A lot of people have sent me DMs yesterday when this whole thing blew up when Madam NHM posted it. They sent me a message to say Joyce was part of it, that they joined the group because of Joyce. I reached out to Joyce on one international number, no response. Yesterday I checked their status. They were both on their way out of Nigeria. And then I sent a message to Stella Indikile yesterday. I said, or to a personal DM, I said, Stella, you are living your life. Your business didn't stop. You guys are in the same group. Why is my sister's life on hold and yours is continuing? Of course, I'm not going to get any response. But then it's no longer in our hands. The authority are involved. And I'm saying this because I know the next thing Ejiro will come outside and say she's fine, she's a consenting adult, and all of that. Ejiro, you see this video, I love you, but you have to come out and you have to see your family and we have to talk. because we know that is not God's plan for you. And this Joyce Solomon, what we've heard about her is not shocking to me, because I know false prophets and their shenanigans and their madness and whatever they bring to the table. Joyce Solomon has